Okay, so main difference for drawing house, buildings and larger structures is to move the horizon down to a lower level. Same leading edge. In this case we're going to take the vanishing points well and truly off the page. We're still heading down. From here you can see an eye line on the horizon indicating the height of any doors that may appear on the structure. Because it's just above the horizon, there's not much of a change in angle. This angle is fairly shallow. Height of the building is set. Length of the building requires a vertical line at the far end, and the depth of the building towards the left hand side can appear like so. From here we've got to decide on where windows are going to sit, and windows being the same physical top height as a door. We can take that as a top position, and from the bottom edge of the window towards the vanishing point. Distances between the windows will gradually get slower as we go further into the distance. In this case the window is going to go around the corner, which is rather unusual. Windows on the left hand side, taking vertical lines, and from the leading edge projecting the bottom and top heights towards the left hand vanishing point. Distances again getting shorter as we go further and further back. In this case the building top edge of the gutter will be set as so. So the door height, window height and gutter height gradually moving up the height of the drawing. In this case the roof itself is going to be rather unusual. Excuse me. It's going to have a much steeper pitch at the front and a longer sloping pitch towards the rear. Remember, the gutter line at the front will determine the gutter line at the back. Line towards the vanishing point. Now this next corner is the most tricky part to get in your head. What we have to do is to take the ridge back towards the right hand vanishing point, and it will cut somewhere unknown up here. Just as in the top left hand edge we have a line going to the vanishing point, for a hollow crate the top right hand corner will also have a line going back towards the vanishing point. If you look here, these lines are helping guide me towards that vanishing point. If I now take this invisible corner and the ridge, and where these two lines cross will give me the end of the ridge of the building. Now, other features we can put onto this we've not done before. Vertically on the gable, that's this end of the building here. I'm just firming the gable at the moment. In this case it's a door on the gable, so I'm going to leave that slightly missing at the moment. In this case I'm going to fit on a little chimney stack with the height going back towards the vanishing point and the thickness going to the right hand vanishing point. I can then fit on, in this case, a stone end to the building. Stonework building up, the roof line, the chimney, and if I could see through I would see the base of two chimney pots extending up and only really seeing the top. So when I firm these in, complete with a musical background, with a gable end appearing like so. The door in this case, I think I will change to a window. So continue the baseline. The height is the same as the windows next door. Firming in this stone end, I have to move that height up a little bit. To do the same thing at the other end could appear a little bit tricky, so what I'm going to try and do is to take my end vertical line, and smaller this time, the second one. Check it's still in picture. And draw a line parallel to top. Now in this case there's no chimney at the far end, so the roof would simply stop up here. The ridge itself can now move down a little bit just to sit behind that stonework. If you want to see examples of this, there's houses like this in East and Mid Calder. In this case it's going to be a stone building, so the external work is going to be quite important. Doorway, gradually firming in, window at the end here, I might just leave off altogether, so I'm going to leave that end window At the moment all these features appear to be surface mounted. They're lying on the surface of the building. I discussed last time that the windows are recessed, so I'm going to take a corner I reckon I can see. So starting at this edge here, because these are above eye line, this will be going down towards the vanishing point, down towards the vanishing point, down towards the vanishing point. Bottom corners here will be going up towards the vanishing point and up towards the vanishing point. No window at the right hand side. I can then put the depth or recess of the window and line to the vanishing point. And I should be able to, in this case, actually see three surfaces. If you sit where you are this now and look at a window in the room you're sitting in, if you're above the bottom of the window, you should see the windowsill, underneath of the lintel, and one side of the window. Exactly the same thing goes with the door. We're going to make the door a little bit more recessed. Again, line going towards the vanishing point. Door going towards the right hand vanishing point. Older property would have large stones above and below each of the windows, called lintels. These are stone beams to support the stonework above and below. The ones at the bottom can stick it a little bit further, like window sills. I'll put one down at the bottom here. And if I take the size and bring it round, I can do something very similar. The horizon still stays in the background. I can then add features. For example, a window may have sides, it may have a centre bar. I'm going to draw this below eye line. Top edge of the woodwork, bottom edge of the woodwork, and it may have old-fashioned dividers going towards the vanishing point. On this side, the recess, line to vanishing point, line to vanishing point, underneath the window, windowsill. Working these same details on the back two windows. Remember, these lines all going towards the vanishing point. For detailing on these windows, I should really take the same heights along to the front edge of the building and project them back. That way the detail I'm putting in registers as being a little bit more realistic. The top and bottom edges of the woodwork of the window. Then a central beam. If I set it back slightly, it does look like there's a top window and a bottom window as in the older buildings. And I can put some of these cross beams, the older buildings having smaller pieces of glass. The door itself could have a panel. I'll just try and divide this out a little bit. Most of that's going to be around the corner, so we're going to have, in this case, a bottom panel, a rail in the middle, a top panel, and a letterbox sitting somewhere. So much of this door is actually around the corner. This is a 4-panel door. I'm going to move that letterbox down a little bit. And I'm going to put a spy hole. You should work out why I'm putting that spy hole in that position. In fact, it's on the horizon. Should tell you something about eye level. Okay, for outlining this drawing now, I'm going to use a pen just to make it stand out a little bit more. Chance to sharpen up some of the lines. Again, I'm not turning the page to draw this because I've got it stuck down for the camera. So you will see some less than accurate drawing work because I'm unable to use the techniques we've been showing you since the beginning of the first year, and this is my first mistake. Now I was doing the outline, I've gone and drifted into the drawings. Let's just concentrate on just the outline at the moment. Most of you will have sussed there are some shadow lines to appear in this. That's the bulk of the outline done. Shadow lines, remember, are where surfaces exist around a corner. We know they exist, we can't see them. So to emphasise their existence, we put on a fake shadow line. Adds emphasis to the hidden edge and shows depth to that particular detail. I've only got them on one side of the window here because I can actually see underneath and on top of those sills. Whereas in your normal low-level 2-point perspective, you'd have more than one shadow line around the door or a window. Got to remember. The roof here, because this is now sticking out, the stonework, the door frame. In reality, the window itself also has some shadow lines. These may help highlight parts of the glass or wooden surround. I'll let you try and work out why I'm doing some on top and some underneath. The hint comes when it comes to talking about horizons, eye levels, and where the various parts will be. Now for more detail in this, I'm going to go straight in with the pencil again, and I'm going to take the detail I've got here for the windowsills. I'm going to half that distance underneath, take the distance across, and continue the same sort of spacing coming from the vanishing point, so that things will line up on the main features of. And to add some stonework detail to this, I could stagger every second block, so long as these line up vertically. These lines again going towards the vanishing point, flattening towards the horizon, then starting to slope down. Rather than adding detail to every single piece of brickwork on the way along, I'm now just going to pick out some feature bricks, but staggering them as you'd imagine an early brick wall might be staggered.